Good evening, all. Good evening, good evening. This is Spirit Journey. Right now, it is Monday, September 30th, 2019, and the time is 10:35 p.m. Boy, went on Alex Jones' show, his website, I should say. And I was just perusing, and I came across a story that they posted about a 12-year-old black girl in Virginia. She had staged a hate hoax. Her name is Amari Allen. She goes to a private school since kindergarten, the Emmanuel Christian School. Okay? She's in the 6th grade. And it was said that she is an honor student. Okay, so she's no dummy. But look what happened. Oh, brother. Tawana Brawley revisited. Yes. I'm very annoyed right now. I'm annoyed at the fact that you have people who have too much time on their hands, and so to get attention, they lie. What happened here? Okay, so this girl, 12-year-old girl, she lives with her grandparents, and the girl told her family that she's living with that these white boys, 3 white boys from her school, grabbed her, called her names that she was, let me get the wording here. Where is that now? Well, they said she was ugly and she has nappy hair. Okay? Yeah, that said that her hair was nappy and I was ugly. But it turns out that this girl lied about it. So we have a liar, a 12-year-old liar. What makes someone do something like that? What would make someone lie, knowing the social climate of today in America? And if hatred is so rampant by white people and white kids, why would a black girl have to lie about it? Is it that we want to believe that white people are as racist as this 12-year-old wants you to believe? What is the psyche of a little 12-year-old who goes to private school, a private Christian school in Virginia, Northern Virginia, and it also turns out that it says here that the Vice President Mike Pence's wife is a teacher of the same school. So is this just an accident? Is this just by chance? Or is someone prompting these kids such a hatred against this presidential, the presidential administration, and to find out that the vice president's wife works there, to put a stain and make her seem more believable because, the vice president's wife works at the school. This is extremely dangerous. And is this a desperate attempt of some black people to have their children or the people that they, that they, what will make someone do this? It's staggering to me. And who's really responsible for this? Why would she think this is okay? This 12-year-old. And to me, she looked older than 12, but she's actually 12 years old. Well, these are my thoughts about it. So you got a young girl. She's bright, she's academic. She's going to a private school. She's being taken care of by her grandparents, and the grandparents look relatively young. They could be in their 50s or 40s. And the girl has dreadlocks. It's not the fancy one, but it's dreadlocks. And the words that I use, ugly and nappy. Now, words like that is words that I hear, especially the term nappy. I don't really hear white people calling black people's hair nappy. But amongst blacks, that is what they use. And so here, I thought that people who wear dreadlocks, that these are people in general, want to embrace their natural African texture here and wear Afrocentric styles as a sign of pride in having this type of hair. But for her, this girl, to do that to herself and call her own hair that term, but see, we want to move forward. Blacks in America want to move forward. But in order for you to move forward, you have to give up your past of oppression. You have to release it from you emotionally. I'm not saying to pretend your past didn't happen, that history didn't happen. Use your history to build yourself up, to fortify yourself with knowledge and personal pride that in spite of what may have been done to your ancestors or to yourself, surpass it. But her dreadlocks didn't provide her confidence. And I'm thinking that to use the term nappy, it's how she really views her own hair. And to call herself ugly. So maybe the problem is, okay, she's 12 years old, so she might be starting puberty. And maybe she may like these white guys, and maybe she may feel that she's not considered attractive for these white guys to like her. And this is what I speculate. Again, I don't know her. I'm just hearing about this case. But the fact that, someone that young, usually boys stay with boys and they play, and then girls stay with other girls and they play with each other. But here she's saying specifically 3 white boys from her school. Again, this is an elementary school. These are all little kids. But to create this drama upon you for negative attention, it's embarrassing. She doesn't like herself, evidently, because if she was confident in herself, she wouldn't need to cut off some of her hair, or maybe the dreadlocks just broke off because she wasn't treating her dreads well, doing enough personal care for her own hair, and there was breakage. That could have been the case too. But who knows? If you lie that extreme, this Miss Allen, who knows what else they'll be willing to lie about. You know what this story reminds me of? The teenage girl, Tawana Browley, who went through such a spectacle and lies to such a degree. The Tawana Browley story happened in the 1980s. And I was just a young girl myself, starting out. I was just a little older than her at the time of the attack. I forget what year this happened. But it was in the early 1980s, I believe. And this Tawana Browley was found in a garbage bag and had feces, I think human feces, supposed to have been human feces. Feces is feces all over her. She was brought to the hospital, and she said these police officers did this to her. So now everybody's scared. It was a big story. And this happened in New York City, I believe. I think New York or New Jersey. And it turns out that the girl, this Tawana Browley, lied about the whole thing, because you have detectives, and the pattern of the feces, something with the glove that she allegedly, she might have had see, I don't want to give the wrong information, but with what she had, what was used to put the feces on her and this other thing didn't match up, and it seemed to suggest, because of this logistics of it, that she had to do it on herself. And it turns out she did it to her own self. See, I'm thinking, she was maybe 16 years old. And and what was not told to me at the time, at least I didn't hear the news. And back then, it was just television and radio. We didn't have the internet as we have it today. We didn't have the same type of social media. So everything that you hear about is television, newspaper primarily, and then, of course, some radio. What would make a girl like that do that to herself? And I think they said she might have also been raped. I'm not sure about that, but she was at least put in with a plastic bag or something wrapped up, and I think she was found in it. The degree of the falsehood in this person. And that's when Al Sharpton really became famous because of that incident. Now it wasn't his fault that the girl did this, but a lot of people in the black community and the black leaders came to her aid. And then to find out that it was all falsehood. And this story, the tragedy of it is that one of the cops that were allegedly part of this, blamed on, committed suicide. He just couldn't take the pressure. And the media never said that. It was early this year that because of the Jussie Smollett hoax, they said, hey, I remember this. This is reminding me of that story from the 1980s of Tawana Brawley. So I think I Googled the name, and I found videos on YouTube regarding her. Yeah. And there I was able to see the story and learn about the police officer who's being falsely accused, he and some other people, and to find out that all of that was a hoax. And even when they found out it was a hoax, there's still the I'm going to say there was the militancy of it all. And not hearing an apology. And I think the girl left town. Yeah, I think she was from upstate New York. Yeah, I think she was actually from upstate New York, not New York City. As I said, yeah, I think she's actually from upstate New York. And I think part of the hoax came out because of a classmate of hers, if I remember right. And the classmate remembered that the girl wrote a story. And the story that was said was what happened to her, what she acted out on the street. And I think that's what initially alerted authorities. So she had this creative writing class or something. And then what you write about, then you act it out. I hope this chick, okay, she's 12 years old, that's a child. But man, are we young black girls, do we hate ourselves that much? Do we feel ugly so much that you have to lie on white dudes that they did something to you to feel value? I don't know how that's going to make you feel valued. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful to go to that extent and be an embarrassment. But according to now this website that I'm watching, InfoWars, that's with Alex Jones, that I don't know why would you do something foolish like that? But after it was found out that the girl lied and made up the whole thing, the family of the girl apologized. So at least I'm glad about that, that they publicly apologized, the family of the girl. But still, it still leaves the question, why are these girls feeling so ugly about themselves? Why? You know where a lot of black women's money goes into? Beauty care. I think black people have a dominance in the beauty field, the toiletries, the things to doll yourself up. I think it's one of the largest. Yet our numbers are relatively small, but we dominate the market for purchase. So these things that you're using to beautify yourself isn't helping some of us, because you're going to such an extent and make up stories how ugly you are and about your hair texture. Or is it that because of the social climate, and you have people who just are milking the social environment to say that some people are racist and this and that? I think blacks are being motivated to feel like a victim, and it's really reinforcing in the black community to call yourself about your hair texture being nappy. That's a pejorative term. And to call oneself ugly. So what is this? You go to a top private school, religious school. You have your hair in dreads, but that's not making the black girls feel confident and beautiful. Well, there's something wrong. This is a big question. Is it because, is it that the black guys aren't paying attention to the black girls? Where I live in New York City, I do notice the young people, where I live are a lot of schools. And you know what I really don't see? I really see young black men showing courtship to young black women. And I see black males usually being friendly to everybody else but the black female. Now, I get the impression, like I lived in different states, and it seems like with American blacks, generationally here in the United States, basically culturally it's pretty the same. So how blacks treat each other in one state is very similar to other states. So here, this is Virginia, and I've been in Virginia when I was in the military, and it's a lovely, lovely state. Absolutely beautiful. I was there when I was in the military. So, and I was treated well there in Virginia. None of the whites mistreated me. And this was in the late 1980s. So, why Why is this the case? Why am I noticing more and more that you very rarely see young, happy looking black couples together, like teenagers, being sweet with each other, holding hands, or let's say they're adults and they're married and have a kid and pushing the stroller. You don't see these happy little picturesque things. But what I have been seeing, I see young black men, they could be like in 20s, 30s, and they're with white women, East Asian women, and they're actually pushing the stroller. Really nice, like how you would see a white couple in New York City. Just, relaxing and just being comfortable and just walking together. I see this. Or they're with Hispanic girls. I very rarely see a happy black man with his black woman. I very rarely see it. Could this be a hint of why she wants, when she gets into a school? And I would speculate that maybe the school might have a high percentage of white people. And she's 12, so she's developing, physically into a woman. And maybe she doesn't feel accepted. She doesn't feel that they're like her. So maybe this part of the charade. Either way, no matter how you slice this event, it comes out peanuts. And so this thing may live with this girl for the rest of her life, as with a Tawana Browley. She still really can't admit what she did. It's an utter embarrassment. Utter embarrassment. And again, I'm just finding out about this now. So then, on the Alex Jones, his website, InfoWars, that you have some media outlets who posted the story, but they're now retracting to cover up that it was a race hoax, race baiting hoax, what we call it, a bias hoax, and not stating in the article that the black girl blamed 3 white boys. They removed the fact that the boys were white and just make it like, the little kids are just, saying things, whatever. No, this was an attack, and a very serious attack against a community of people in this school. How they're going to view black girls now. Again, I don't know anything about this school. What percentage of black girls go to that school? So this definitely is going to make white guys especially feel hands off of black girls because they lie. So what? So I'm upset, and I'm reminded about another incident. A fellow YouTuber. He is into politics. I forget his name, but he has a cool channel. He's a black fellow, And he has the American flag, and then he has also a black flag. It was done nicely. And he exposed this other false hate hoax crime of a black dude. And he owns, I think this happened in Georgia. And he has two businesses right next to each other. And then he vandalized his own store. He had pulled off the flat screen TV and puts it in his truck. But he did this by yanking it off the wall. So it's tearing a hole in the wall in his store, his own store. And then he calls the police. Oh no, he calls his insurance company that his store was vandalized. So he wanted to do what do you call it? Insurance fraud. And then he had also put on the walls the N-word and the swastika. Yes, he did. I forget his name. I don't know the name of the guy. The fool who did that in Georgia. A grown man. So why is this is this a trend now because of that guy Juicy Smollett earlier this year? Why if black people are being harmed by whites, why do you see blacks doing it to themselves? Why this falsehood? And remember what happened to me was that one or two, I think it's going on 2 years. And these two young black women, I'm pretty sure they were over, over 16. They were young, and they were trying to intimidate me and bully me. And again, in New York City, we have a lot of mental patients. And I was giving the girl benefit of the doubt in some aspect. I didn't want to really engage with them, so I just slid over. I thought maybe she dropped something. No, they were trying to bully me to give up my seat. For both of them. Yet the train is virtually empty, and they could have taken any seat comfortably. And when they came into the train, I sensed something was up. Just how they were acting, at least one of them were acting when they came in. Again, why this ugly behavior? What's making some black women and girls do ugly things and then wonder why people don't like them? Why are some of us acting ugly? Well, you know why? You're being reinforced to do ugly things. See, maybe initially in the past, whites might have said bad things about you, but now America has all sorts of people here, all types of people, nationalities, everything, And blacks in general live with other blacks. But the sting of what happened to you in the past is being recycled in the black community. And so these old terms that maybe might have been used against you maybe 100 years ago is being perpetuated by black people and not whites. You go to some of these comedian shows, the black comedians, and you know where you learn those terminology? From a lot of these guys who use these ugly, demeaning terms referring to certain characteristics of black people. And a lot of these comedians like to say potty language, potty mouth. So this is being recycled and just repeated over and over and over again. And then these young children hear this so-called humor and this sentiment about us. So again, it's just putting it out there and brainwashing blacks to think lowly about ourselves, to even kill oneself. More black people die under the hands of black people and not whites. And to say such thing to some black people will have us be called these new terms. See, we're becoming liars. We're becoming full of false narratives. So how could anybody really respect us or like us or want to be around us? If you don't want to be around yourself, why should any other group want to live next to you? When you have to lie and vandalize your own store, and this was an adult male who knew better, then you get this 12-year-old Alan who lies. I hope they throw her out of the school. That's what I hope. They throw her out. But no, maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh. See, she needs to learn how to love herself. Truly love yourself. See, it's something that's lacking. Where she's living, they're not telling her, reinforce her beauty. See, I notice here in especially the English-speaking world in the Americas, you're taught to not feel beautiful about yourself. But then you have in other cultures in the Americas that the black women, they dress up really nice, they fix their hair, they wear sexy clothes, that they seem to have that they at least portray themselves in a better way. We have to start appreciating ourselves. Mothers, you have to start teaching your daughters how to beautify themselves inwardly and outwardly. And black fathers, you also need to encourage your black girls and tell them that they're beautiful. You have to start investing in your kids. You're spending money on them for electronics and stuff like that, but that's not enough. You have to start engaging with these young girls and teaching them their worth. Yes, people have the right to like what they want to like. in a girl. So if black men, if you know you like your women to look a certain way, well, you should convey that knowledge to the girl so at least she knows what you like, and so she'll start to dress to attract her own. You can at least do that. But even if you don't, tell her what you like in a girl, how you like your girls to dress, whatever. Ladies, appreciate yourself. Act beautiful. Look at other women from other countries around the world and how those countries where, those black countries where the men and the women are attracted to each other in their beauty. Start looking at them and see how they act as people who are enjoying their race. I've been overseas when I was in the military, and this particular area that I went had people from Ethiopia, a lot of them, and they're absolutely beautiful. They have beautiful jet black skin, the ones that I saw. Their bodies, they're petite. They're not overweight at all. And they dress like women. When you see them, you know right off that's a girl. But I noticed in New York City, where I live, a lot of the females dress like boys. It's like they're covering up their femininity and want to be boys. So, is this something that is a deeper problem? Is this due to them being molested or raped, and so they disguise themselves to try to look boyish to hide their femininity? This could be so in some situations. And if that is the case, that is so sad. Very sad. See, this is an internal problem. And whether a white guy or a black guy likes you or not, they are not the final determinant how you should feel about yourself. In spite of what these boys feel about you, it's what you feel about yourself, that in spite of how some of these people treat you, for you to look in the mirror and every day say to yourself, I love you. And then dress up, dress in a way that is flattering to your body shape. Wear beautiful makeup. Or, hey, if you may not even need makeup, just put a little lip gloss on and start acting beautiful. Not like a snob, because a snob is a snob. Act like a beautiful flower, ladies, young and old. Start embracing yourself. Keep yourself clean. Have your hands nicely manicured. You don't need those dragon nails. Just your natural nail. Get a buff and shine on it. You don't need to be complicated to, do things complicated to look beautiful. The simpler the better. Hairstyles, simple but nice. Start smiling. Be happy. Be happy about you. You don't have to give up your womanhood and try to cover it up. Start embracing your womanhood and start exercising your mind. Start reading all types of material to educate yourself, to expand your mind. Stop being stuck in this Hollywood crap of false illusion about what beauty is. See, the media is trying to deceive you and make you look at what they think beauty is, those stupid rap videos. I call them those boom boom girls of nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. And you watch it. You have girls paying money to get butt jobs. You already got a big behind, some of you, and you're going to put something on top of that. You're looking like a fool. Stop looking like a fucking clown and start saying, look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love me. I love my natural beauty. Start traveling to different places around the world. There's a YouTuber. She's only 23 years old and she's traveling the world. She's even able to afford to bring her brother on vacation for a graduation present from college. I mean, he just graduated from college, and this was her gift to her little brother who just graduated from college. All these people she and he are meeting. Different languages, different ways to dress. Expand your mind, ladies. Expand your mind. Don't be so preoccupied with this hip-hop culture of death, of sexual perversion. You're putting all this nonsense stuff on your bodies, and you're a turn-off. And some of you feel, I got to get a white or a light-skinned boyfriend so that your kids look a little paler, hair a little straighter. Your kids are going to pick up what you're doing and why you did what you did. And so you're perpetuating hatred against your own people. Cut it out. Like what you like. If you like someone, if you like a particular person, you know, I'm not trying to tell you who to date, but understand what you're doing. And stop doing things that's going to sabotage your group. Love who you love, but love yourself first, so that you have you that you can offer to your partner, and vice versa. Yeah, this is a time of illusion, false illusions. We have to cut the lies that we are telling ourselves and the lies that are being told in the media. There are a lot of lies that are being told about you. You have to start to look within and learn your truth about yourself. And then teach others what you learn. But going on like this because you don't like yourself or you don't like who's in office, you're playing into their hands. This liberal liars. These liberal liars are losers. And they're pulling you down to the grave. They're not doing anything to build up your community, your schools, but instead you want to use the race card and blame Whitey for all your problems. When a lot of the problems are coming from your own mouth and your own hands and victimizing people from your own community, and you ain't going anywhere. You need to start really looking within at what you're doing. And you also need to look into those churches you've been going to. See, they rely on you to not feel good about yourself, so that it keep on going back to church, being brainwashed, and watching a white Jesus. Shame on you. Shame on you. You need to start waking up, people. You need to start waking up and start going within and embracing and discovering the true, beautiful you. And not what television and Hollywood or Hollyweird wants you to believe about yourself. Do a detox from this foolish music you've been listening to and the foolish movies that you watch. You need to start as a family, if you live with your parents, to start going within and building up the family. Educate yourself. Read books together. You're having lunch or dinner together. Maybe you can go over what you've learned. Learn something new that could add enlightenment to your life. See, the family is the individual is the first person that you are to educate, but also the family unit. Start learning about yourself. Start planning how you could build something together. And then as a community, you're pulling down yourself. Stop it. This is all I really have to say right now. Wow. I thought we had so much more going for ourselves. But I see that we're slipping. We're slipping backwards. But there's still hope. Just be honest with yourself. Look in the mirror and just be honest with yourself, how you feel. And they say, okay, I am who I am, regardless how I feel about myself. This is me. This is who I carry 24/7. And this is who I'm going to respect. Start respecting yourself. Start to feel good about yourself. Start fixing yourself up. Wear your iron clothes. Have your pants up. Have clean shoes. And smile at yourself in the mirror. Start educating yourself about different cultures. And I think this is a start. But you have to start feeding good things into your brain. See, these hip-hop people, they're being used by the system. All those black comedians, you know why they pay them so well, these black performers and black comedians? Because they're the tool of the devil. See, you don't need white people saying bad things about blacks, you just get another black person to do it. And that's why they're paying them so well. Because they're falling into the trap to socially brainwash other black people. And people from all over the world are watching American TV, American music, etc. You can change. You can change if you want to change. But the change starts from within. Okay? You can do it. And when you see people like this 12-year-old Miss Allen, or these comedians saying the N-word and those terms that black people say, some black people say about other black people's hair, don't say words like that. People hear it and they'll realize, hey, they don't like themselves, so why should I like them? Out these guys who are perpetuating negative stereotypes about black people and black women. Call them out on it and say, enough is enough. Let's start the healing process of our people. That's all that I want. I want healing. Healing for all of us. Let's stop beating ourselves up and beating up our neighbors. Let's stop this foolishness and let's start learning how to love. Okay, guys? I hope you like this audio that I'm doing. I really hope you learned something, and I hope you are encouraged to want to change. Okay? Take care and enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.